Good evening and welcome to CYC News for the 27th of November 2016 and the 18th of Hatur 17:33 am. I'm David Nada. In today's headlines, Aleppo eyewitnesses describe aftermath of hospital attack, Mosul hundreds of bodies discovered in mass graves near city, Dakota Access Pipeline protester nearly loses arm after explosion, US identifies ISIS suspect in Paris Brussels attack, Turkey's Erdogan calls for UN shake-up over Syria war, desert fog catchers make water out of thin air. To our top story, according to Syria, civil defense on Sunday, Syrian regime forces pounded the rebel-held areas in and around the city of Aleppo with airstrikes and artillery shelling, killing 32 people and bringing the total death toll in a week-long bombardment campaign to over 300. Rescuers claim that hospitals in eastern Aleppo have been the primary target of the bombardment, which they describe as the most intense since the war began 5 years ago. Scenes of horror are displayed in every corner of the Omar hospital in Aleppo. A witness who filmed the aftermath of the shelling said, "Whatever I say, I will not be able to describe the horror I am seeing." Reports show that there are decapitated bodies on the floor, children with bloodied faces, and screaming mothers searching for their families under the rubble. Over to Iraq, where security forces have discovered 2 mass graves near the city of Mosul, containing around 250 bodies. Iraqi Federal Police Commander Brigadier General Faris Raddi Abbas told CNN that the graves, which were found near the town of Haman, were created by ISIS militants. Hammam al-Alil was liberated by Iraqi Federal Police about 10 days ago. Iraqi forces entered Mosul on November 3 in an operation to free the city from more than 2 years of ISIS rule. One of the mass graves was discovered inside a well. Abbas told CNN, "We believe the well contains more than 200 bodies ISIS used mass graves to kill and dump people over the past 2 years." Abbas added that the security forces were still working to defuse bombs, saying ISIS terrorists have also planted bombs around this mass grave to prevent family members from recovering the bodies. Abbas said that the second mass grave was discovered near Hammam al-Alil and contained about 45 bodies. On Sunday night, 400 protesters clashed with police, leading to the hospitalization of more than 2 dozen. One protester, a 21-year-old New York resident, Sofia Walensky, nearly lost her arm after an explosion. Protesters have tried to stop construction of Dakota Access Pipeline since last June. The US government has identified a suspect believed to have been involved in the planning of the ISIS attacks that rocked the French capital and Brussels in March. Abdelia Himouk was named in US State Department statement Tuesday, announcing the designation of 3 men as terrorists. According to the statement, Himouk is a senior foreign terrorist fighter and external operations figure for ISIS. Himouk was also reportedly involved in the planning of ISIS November 2015 Paris attacks and March 2016 Brussels attack. A source close to the investigation into the Paris attacks told CNN last year that a surviving congregator from the Bataclan told investigators that a gunman asked another of the attackers where he was going to call an individual called Suleiman, as the attack was ongoing, but it's not known whether this could have been a reference to the alias used by Himrik or to another ISIS member. Now to Turkey, where President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called for an overhaul of United Nations on Monday, saying its Security Council had failed to address the Syria conflict and other global challenges. Erdogan gave a speech in Istanbul at the closing of NATO meeting, where he slammed the Security Council's concentration of power, reiterating the world is bigger than 5. Erdogan said there may have been numerous positive steps taken. However, the United Nations failed to act effectively, facing a number of issues, Syria included. The Security Council, responsible for international peace and security issues, includes 5 permanent member states, has been widely criticized as ineffective over its inaction on the war, failing to push through decisions on the conflict since it broke out with the Arab Spring in 2011. Finally, southwest Morocco, where giant nets catch moisture from the air, turning fog into drinking water. The technique involves a fine mesh on which tiny fog droplets gather and merge until they have enough weight to travel down into a reservoir. Set in a dry mountainous area, it's the world's largest functioning fog collection project, spanning 600 square meters according to Dar Sihmad, the women-led Moroccan NGO that runs it. The pilot project now provides clean drinking water to 500 people in 5 villages in a region that has been severely hit by climate change, included droughts. And that's all for CYC News. A reminder, you can watch this news bulletin again throughout the week on YouTube. I'm David Nada, and from the CYC studios in Sydney, Australia, have a good night and God bless.